but compliments of the new year. We are going into our first episode of the year on the Things Said podcast. My name is Kaelo Sabone, and today I'm speaking to Kagiso, and I think what we need to speak about is that his profile is huge. This gentleman has been doing this for many years. I remember Remmogo, and he's still on it, including the song that actually all of us probably liked a lot back in the day. And so we are talking all things to do with youth, social development, and entrepreneurship, and what people should be doing to get into next year and how to survive the times that might be here or might be coming in the future. Thank you for joining us. Right, so, Dume.
Mr. K, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mr. K.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, it's been a while since we've actually caught up.
Yes, it's been a while, yeah.
I think I've seen you through the times. I've seen you through Remmogo.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's one of those things that are there and they keep growing and they keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know, I know that you've done a bit of work, especially with the youth at
Yes,
the
sir.
time. And
Yeah.
Remmogo did a lot, but I think I want to hear from you first
Yeah.
what Remmogo is and how you came up to end up with the Remmogo organization.
Yes, sir. No, thank you, Mr. K. There's a great opportunity and congrats. There's a great setup, you know,
thank you.
especially for the young people of this nation, you know. So Remmogo Foundation entity was founded in 2011. Okay. And with the mandate to empower and develop young people through various platforms. Yep. It could be media, radio, television, physical engagements, yakabudi workshops and seminars, depending on the then campaign that we would have been working on. That would be related to social ills, your road accidents, your substance abuse, your mental health, just to mention a few.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So from your start, what is the key thing that made you say this needs to be addressed? And the only way to address it is through outside government. Now we see this thing like it's a government problem.
Yeah, true. Yes, yeah. Look, the government has always been providing certain avenues, you know, or platforms. But the question was, how do we also as citizens come on board and assist the government where possible? So I saw the need, especially when it comes to young people, empowerment, development and engagement. How do we engage other young people, you know, because more you know, most of the times, you know, and then we only remember those who are closer to the resources, in towns and cities and so forth.
Yeah, we make them problem when we pay.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, deal with that.
Yeah, and you know, I remember at one ministry then, you know, I was saddened by a young person who was coming from Kokhaolong, and you know, most of the government ministries, we clearly like double stories. Yeah. So I got there, and because I was going to a certain office, the security guard at the ground floor is giving this young girl some hardships. Yeah. Where appointment, but she's trying to explain no, I can appointment. I've been trying to call through and how long get like a parliament and I have to go. And I'm you know, that really saddened me to say, guys, are we really in this state where I'm not going to reach where I want to go, you know? So it was one of those things that really pushed me to say, I'm going to use this platform to push this agenda so that we can give each and every young person an opportunity, because they are not citizens by default, you know. Yeah.
So now when we look at the challenges of the youth, I think that the time when you started, I don't think the challenges are the same as the ones that we are facing today.
No.
2011, we were kind of a maturing country at the time.
Yeah.
Because we were still under this government can take care of me thing. But what are the main social challenges then? I know the HIV was one of the challenges that were then busy at the time.
Yeah.
Did we have as much drug problems as we do now, for example?
Look, we did, we did, but obviously, like you said, the numbers were a bit lower than now. Obviously, for the obvious reasons, right now we find ourselves where the economy is a bit crumbling, and most of the programs that were designed for young people have been stalled. You know, for obvious reasons on here, like I said, the economical side of it. And obviously, now that when it hits a young person, bone, they don't take it light. No, how about to see you, and then what do? They indulge.
Yeah.
They indulge in certain substances or certain activities. Be that to indulge in unwanted substance abuse, and then it becomes another problem because it will lead to mental health. It will lead to go to GBV, and then we would have all those mushrooming stats from certain activities. And then you look at it and you look at the cause. Where did this problem now begin? Yeah. So then the numbers were there, but they were not as huge as now.
As big as now. So the unemployment issue as well, because you're mentioning it now.
Yeah.
When most of us graduated, I think you and I probably finished school at the same time.
Yeah.
We thought it was easy. The guys who came before us, 4 years before us, it was easy. They graduated, they got jobs, and they moved on.
Yeah.
We graduated and we had to find our footing on the ground.
Yeah.
But our numbers were not that bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you look at Botswana, what is actually causing unemployment? Because I think the companies are growing. I'm seeing new brands there and there.
Yes.
What's creating this problem when you look at your analysis from your perspective?
Look, I remember I did a bit of a desktop research back in the days, and what really shook me was that we 2 million population, and as much as young people make over 65%, obviously they become the minority, So the bit of research that I saw was that there was the linkage between the government and the private sector in terms of lobbying to create more opportunities for young people. It was lower. It was low, back in the years, So that's like, what, 5 years back? No. 8 years back, 8 years back. It was low to a point where now young people were being sent to government programs, IDF, to mention a few. And it was also difficult. I mean, if you say the IDF creates employment and so forth, but you haven't created the market for the very same person that you are funding, and all of a sudden, can you service the loan? But, so the some of these things, Mr. K, to me, they were done haphazardly, because I doubt certain programs like that, intellectuals were called to the table to say, guys, this is the program we're having. How do we take it to the community, and how does it work out and benefit the community, the market, and so forth?
But I think the government likes answering. I don't know whose problems they find, because I don't think those are the problems, challenges that we have. If we look at how the previous government worked, it answered what is there, at the time. I don't know where they got it from. Because there's been young farmers. Young farmers didn't even last 3 years.
No, not really.
Young farmers didn't last 3 years. And so on. Who has there ever been a day where you've been called with a farmers fund, a young people fund here? What do they need?
I remember Mr. K, I was part of the Botswana National Youth Council back in the years, and this believe mo bagolong ya gore banana in general ke batho ba jang madi ka batho ba seyang, so there was that perspective ya gore young people go ne le gore la ha bo sida to access bone bo young farmers. Hey, o no tsa gore o monana, risky, you know what I mean? They were not seeing value in you, but yet they have put up these programs and funding for them, and I've always asked myself, what can't funding you on because
it's written youth, but clearly the youth they're
not benefiting. You know what I mean? Those who are benefiting, you know what I mean? So that was the problem. The number one factor was that young people, the risk, young people but you go to the podium and you speak of how young people are benefiting, how you're supporting young people, and that really, to me, it was a concern. It was a huge concern.
But should we then look at it as in this unemployment rate that's very high now for our population?
Yes.
was created by Young Farmers Fund failures and youth programs that facing. Could it be that created this? Because in branding, it's beautiful.
Yes.
But you don't want it to also happen. Could that be what then delayed this big problem that we are now facing today?
Look, can I tell you, Mr. K? I mean, I'm going to give you an example. Look at the YDF, which is now, the now government, they're saying they're revising it. Okay. You get that application, huh? It's not for every young person. Yeah. That application is only for those who have attended school to a tertiary level. But I'll tell you what, you go to rural areas, to settlement areas, you've got young people who are God-given talent. You know, and ideas to think and so forth. But we can academically they're not gifted, you know. And bonnet automatically because they're outside automatically. Because the form will tell you, no, you need to give us the CV where you scored diploma, degree, and so forth, certificate. But we tell you Form 2 or Form 3. So is this gifted young person we know more community or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we've actually closed them out. So it was very selective to my knowledge, and I'm giving it as an example because I know it, and I even questioned about it. To stand on behalf of other young people, guys, why is this form like this? And we've always lobbied it has to be revised.
Yeah,
it took over 10 years.
I remember a few young people who've come to me to speak to me, and they said, kind of the problem with this form is that it's not necessarily for startups.
Yes.
If you're a startup, chance of getting the fund is not there. And the same applies to any other funding that is there. If you already pre-exist, they will trust you more.
Yes.
But at what point have we taught these young people to be in business? Because business studies ki option.
Yeah, yes.
Commerce ki option.
Option, yeah.
But we know there are no jobs. But we are busy creating these things.
Yeah.
So how do we start building this into a curriculum?
Yeah.
A curriculum, I'm not talking about school, social curriculum.
Yes.
How do I nurture my neighborhood?
Yes.
You know? So how do we start? Because we need to build a Botswana can get somewhere very fast. We are in this problem.
Yeah.
Youth are unemployed.
Yeah.
And I think they've been failing at an alarming rate, go Form 5.
Yes.
Meaning that's more unemployed, unqualified people in terms of once you haven't hit 36 points, you're not qualified you're not qualified to exist in this country.
Yes.
So where do we start? We're not looking from your professional expertise.
Yeah. We go back and revise the curriculum.
Okay.
And we say, we've been benchmarking all these years. I know the government has been benchmarking, but
are those benchmarking were luxury trips?
No, they were.
The people who are going there.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So we go back to the drawing board and say, theoretically, this thing, has been working, but not to a level because you look at the aftermath, it's the cause of unemployment, especially on the young people. And we start introducing, your neighbor CITF, not but from a very young age, from the primary level, to say, like you were given example, tamati, it's a sky to come out in the market and so forth. You break the even and so forth. What's the market like? So it's about time we do that now, not tomorrow, because the economy, even the job market, it's closing out. Yeah. We see companies retrenching and so forth, and that retrenchment also it's adding to the numbers.
Yeah, it's unemployment.
You know, and we still have more young people who are in school now who are about to finish or who just graduated. They are also adding to the numbers. It's unemployment. But had we engaged them or instilled the source of independency and at that time.
Yeah.
Example, our neighbors, the people that I love so much, we call them Mazezuru. If you look at these people, because I used to have a friend, I think junior or senior, Ke ha time go montsha mo sekolong a bona o ka di go ka di ga go.
Yeah, I'll see you 2 years.
Yeah, but all those things, And I mean, the guy now owns taxis, buses, here in Botswana, he's doing well. Yeah, and it's because of of how he was, how he's involved at a very young age to learn business, to learn money, to touch money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started touching money at a young age.
At a young age.
But one of the things that I realized that we don't have in this country is skills. When I go to Joanning, right, and a lot of my friends who I know who went to Joanning Technical College, those people are far ahead of Botswana.
Yeah.
They're not properly utilized, but they're way ahead of Botswana because for some reason, most of the ones that I know that went to Joanning Technical are actually working in the mine. Directly trained to be ready to go into the mining sector.
Yes.
But when you think of Sarge, brigade go one of our feet and
Yes.
and I think that's where we got the formula wrong. To force all of us to go and get degrees.
Yes.
Yet degrees don't give money. I'm looking at post-COVID. I have a lot of friends in Australia.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, everyone, I thought these guys were Australians actually, growing up with them, interacting with them.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, they all went back to their countries.
Yeah.
Now, these guys were plumbers,
Yeah.
they were chefs, they were electricians, they were boiler makers.
Yeah.
They all left. Australia started having a big problem with employment within the skill sector.
Yeah.
If you go on this platform here, indeed.co.au, it's an Australian.
I think, I once passed
The
through it,
biggest jobs you're going to see there,
Yeah.
chefs,
Yes.
cook, scullery,
Yeah.
plumber, welder, harvester, they're all gone.
Yeah.
And these jobs seem to clearly be paying better than anywhere else in Australia, but there are no people there.
Yeah.
Now we sit back and say, if we were to say we have a deal as Botswana and Australia that will transfer our manpower there, we will be lying to them.
Yeah.
Because we've made our young people believe that without 36 points, you are dead.
Yeah.
How a brigade ra go tshega mo ditseleng gore o tsena go brigade.
Yeah.
Vocational training, we took it for granted. But do you think it's something that the youth should consider going for? There is, I always go back to a number. It's about 26,000 young people who wrote the Form 5 exam the year before last.
Yeah, 2024,
26,000 of those did not make 36 points.
Yeah.
Or more even. I might be cutting down on the numbers. Or more.
Yeah.
Did not make it 36 points.
Yeah.
How do we convert their minds to believing that it's time to go to brigade, GTC's there, go become a chef, Francistown Technical, and all these things are there.
Yeah.
How do we get the youth to go there? Do you think it will be viable?
Yeah, I think firstly, is to start, there's that stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that...
From the house.
From the house, from the house that you, and the community that you live in. And automatically that shines me away, and I start thinking, what is it that I can do? So the government's role in terms of revising the curriculum itself, it's very vital, that one. But also the point that you mentioned, it's a very good one, where you said from the very same household you live in. I think that's where also the encouragement has to come from, to say, as much as more curriculum hearing or the educational setup hearing, it's a white collar job. Someone, So that has to be scrapped out to say, now we need to be a skilled nation where we are going to use our... And, I always say, skills are God-given talent.
Yeah.
Because we differ in skills.
Yeah, Jesus was a skill man.
He was a skill man,
Yeah.
So, like you mentioned, some are carpenters, some are... Look, I remember, you're even taking me back. I remember one chap, that guy was so good, was so good practically when we were doing, I think, and when Haradira DNT, he went for economics, But he didn't make it out because, I see economics here, he was out, you know what I mean? But later on, I heard he's doing well. He's a chef now. Okay. In one of the hotels, he's a lead chef, and he's doing well. And he once won a competition, and they took him abroad, and, he's doing well. Someone who's now, I think, he's earning I think over 50 now.
Yeah.
Because he's also now
He's
a
using
private
his
chef.
hands.
He's using his hands. You know.
Because I look at even at my life as it is.
Yeah.
I'm qualified for this. The cameras and setting
Yeah.
up and writing and all. I'm
Yeah.
good at that stuff. PR and marketing.
Yeah.
But I don't see it benefiting me. It's designed to benefit someone I'm going to work for.
Yes.
Then I find myself, I cook.
Yeah.
I weld equipment now, make my own equipment. And that on its own means if I had gone to Brigade Yalubat,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be far. I'll be far because marketing is in the brain.
Yes, yes,
You
yes,
know what I
yeah,
mean? You don't
yeah.
necessarily need to go
No,
to school
no,
to
no,
market.
no,
You've
no.
seen guys who've never
Yeah.
even seen a classroom doing well in marketing.
Yeah.
So I think we need to leverage this. We saw last year was something at the making TVET sexy. I kind of moved away from it because it took away from the purpose.
Yeah.
You are making it sound like you are trying to make it charitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not just let kids know about it from school? Why not explain to one idea in Tio? That's idea in Tian. We itse gore wa go ira madi a kana kana o baakanya o diragala se tsena mo lenseng ya kana.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. K, you are reminding me also now of we used to have those good students who were very good at art.
Yeah.
The sculpture, designing, and just your painting and so forth. You remember?
Yeah.
And you look at you look back and where are those guys? Where are they? Those guys were good,
Yeah.
you know. And well, obviously, with the help of social media, we see people on via TikTok and so
Yeah.
forth. Re bona ba tshwantsha, you know, coming up with those sculptures, with those paintings and drawings of celebrities and other people, you know. O bona gore, these people are making a living and they're making a killing out of this, you know. But again, it also goes back to the market.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be painting certain people or certain profiles, and then get charge my 1,000, my 750, how many of those are coming to me? You know,
Yeah.
I'm going back to the to the issue of marketing.
Yeah.
The marketing itself, we've got hotels, we've got certain we've got embassies. How do we now export our own talent, you know, to those places at a value?
Yeah.
You know, the exhibitions, the international exhibitions and so forth, how do we get these Botswana young people specifically and expose them and, you know, link them, connect them, let them network with those other big artists at an international level, you know.
But we were also never taught the value of these things.
Yes.
I come to think of it, I had the option to go do art or home economics, and I went for home economics.
Yeah.
Because I knew with home economics, I've seen this with my mother cooking at home, where she'll cook madombi pakela,
Yeah.
le magwinya.
Yeah.
By 11 o'clock, she's done. She's cooking rice.
Yeah.
And when I look at Tina Gagwe, it tletse madi mo teng.
Yeah.
So home economics made immediate sense to me.
Yes.
Art, I've never seen anyone in my family drawing something and come back with money.
Yes.
You know, I've
Yeah.
only seen one uncle of mine was a photographer for the Gazette.
Yeah.
Him making money from that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I've never seen the value of making money with art because it's an economy we're never told.
Yeah.
We only know the economy of going to work.
Yes.
Right? But we need to build a new person because these things that we are facing now, these
Yes.
challenges,
Yeah.
are the ones that are bringing this GBV thing.
Yeah.
Which is on a trend.
Yeah.
It's not a good word to use
No,
for this, but
not.
it's on
Yeah,
a trend.
yeah.
And it's growing.
Yeah.
Could it be emanating from these things that are coming from the fact that we are not properly aligned with what can generate money for us?
Yes, we're not busy. There's nothing keeping us busy.
Yeah.
All I do is whatever that I get, I go to the bars, I drink, or I go, not just the bars literally, but I go chill, I'm home and I get angry, and all these things start building up in me, and arguments come out, and I start engaging in wrong ways with my partners and so forth. And this GBV thing, I'm part of the stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do we, you see, one of the things that comes to my mind is that GBV is serious
Yeah.
and it's becoming more serious. And then I go on social media
Yeah.
and I read comments, you know, both genders,
Yes.
not one gender, both
Yeah.
genders, because they all say the same thing. When someone says, oh, tota eno, habe ile kontraka yana ka di overall.
Yeah.
You read such, though. It's a social thing that creates GBV naturally, because what it's saying is that muto gana thuso ka
Yeah.
ka sa se dirang. The stigma is also causing GBV.
Yeah.
How do we build out of that?
Yeah, I think the moment it goes back to the stigma issue. Ya gona gore when I'm a perpetrator and I'm already labeled a perpetrator, gore the stigma is already on me, and then I say accept that it's okay. It's like that guy who went to jail. I feel like I can still go back. It's okay. I've been there before, So the moment we fight this stigma, discrimination, I think we will be able to fight GBV. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Back in the days during your alcohol abuse, your HIV/AIDS abuse, HIV/AIDS infections and so forth.
Yeah.
We had proper awareness campaigns.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're doing much on awareness. Look, yes, quarter meetings we do and so forth, but if we could put certain funding or engage the private sector to fund certain programs, campaigns, because the more you make noise about something, the more kantile le part of it.
We are success stories at HIV.
Oh,
The whole world. I'm not enough. Forget about Africa. The whole world.
I know.
The same way we had HIV/AIDS campaigns and worked. Why not involving the same energy on this? Or is GBV not a pandemic?
And remember then the social media wasn't.
It wasn't there. No, there was no social media.
There was no social
Actually,
media.
For us in Botswana, there was no internet.
There was no internet. Yeah. So it was radio. If it did
there was no TV.
There was no TV. So it was radio and newspaper.
And newspapers.
That's it. And then physical campaigns.
Yeah, drama. I know that scripts in drama competitions. I was in drama.
Yes.
You could not go to a competition without an HIV story. So when you go for drama competitions, the requirements were for you to enter your school.
Yes.
You had to have a story on HIV.
Yeah.
But we knew what HIV and GBV, it was called domestic violence.
Yes.
HIV and domestic violence, we're going together.
Yeah. And you know what? It doesn't mean that domestic violence then it wasn't big.
It was big.
It was. Yeah. It's only that, like you are saying, there was, people were out there, supported by the government, supported by individuals, the private sector, and so forth, to fight the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. We've got a lot of young people who are sitting at home now, who are big on drama, and music, and acting, and poetry, and so forth, who've got ideas. And it's a mistake. Issue of funding sometimes really hurts me. How a proposal, young person or this person can actually help us in their community, And because I'm not just talking about the now government, even the previous government. A lot of young people were shut out because we didn't believe in them, you know what I mean? Because majority of the officers and the officers then ke bagolo. And how taole monana o tla ka innovation gore ba feel la gore nya wa go ja madi o
akanya le ngwana ga gore o lekana le ngwana ke motho ke madi a se go ngwana.
And unfortunately, personally, I came across such in certain offices. Now I fought anyway. Now I fought because I fought to a point where I would even go to the highest office to report because why are we being closed out? Because the leadership always says, always find a way to assist the government. Don't always want to be getting out from the government. But if you bring a proposal, we have a look at it. If it works for us, we can see how we can partner, in a way. So I'm saying this because a lot of young people who I know personally and who I know also, very talented, very innovative, banally so much ideas, who can also help when it comes to issues about GBV campaigns and so forth. I'm telling you, if we could create a fund for these young people, I'm
And
telling
it's not like the money is not there.
you. No.
The money is there. I mean, you look at the 200 million that came out of the alcohol levy. I mean, I know it's going to the creators, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Trust
Yes,
me.
yeah.
As a beneficiary, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But I also feel, why not take the 100 million
Yeah.
and say, let's take this now
Yeah.
to GBV campaigns.
Yeah.
Yes, the assumption is that the GBV campaigns are going to be creative, but they're not always creative. A workshop is not creative.
Yeah.
Talking to young boys about
Yeah.
how to look at a girl is not creative. I had this opinion, and I don't know if it sticks, that GBV wasn't there before we were born.
Yeah.
Or it was there, but it was like very minimal.
Yeah.
But it was managed by Bojale and Bokwera
Yes.
as the social schools
Yeah.
or social orientation that we got for free from the Kosi,
Yeah.
our culture.
Yes, yes.
Then
yeah.
we took away Bojale and Bokwera because they were very primitive.
Yeah.
Now, a girl doesn't know how to talk to a man, how to 10 pool instead of 20 pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy thinks, okay, 20 pool out.
Yeah.
10 pulo ke la ha ke tla ka 20 pula 10 pulo ke mmereketse
Yeah.
motho mpo wa re dilo di sele the guy is going to get angry.
Yeah.
So how do we socially orientate? Because that money alcohol levy,
Yeah.
alcohol is one of the foundations. And I think if we go back to how Ski came up with this whole concept of
Yeah,
alcohol levy,
yeah.
alcohol is one of the foundations of GBV.
I'm
Whether
telling
we
you.
like it
Yeah.
or not. Ha re re motho o no lenke na erang GBV.
Yeah.
No. O kgona go rekela motho bojalo. E be le ka re le tla dumelana ba change your mind.
Yeah.
These things happen.
No, true, yeah.
So why don't we channel these funds? Where else can we get the money? Because
Yeah.
clearly we know
Yeah.
the social ills, drinking is one of the social ills.
Yeah.
And we are punishing drinking by taking tax.
Yes.
How can we channel this money?
There's so many funds, you know. Well, let me say, rather, levies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the alcohol levy you've just mentioned. You've got the
Plastic levy,
plastic
if it
levy.
exists.
Yeah. You've got the fuel levy.
Yeah.
You've got the transport levy. And if you look at all these things, madi a teng a tsena tsatsi le tsatsi, you know. And nna, individually, something that I want to advocate for is to create and set up a behavioral change fund.
Okay.
So behavioral change fund, how it's going to work, it's going to actually look into issues like that. They deal with behavior, more individually. Your road accidents, your HIV, AIDS, your GBV,
Drugs.
your drugs, your crime, you know, and so forth.
Yeah.
So this fund will be strictly to campaign or to be directed to campaigns related to these social ills. Because whether we like it or not, you know, Mr. K, the young generation that is coming, the question is, you know, if we don't kill and face these ills now and find a way, how do we fight them? How do we wipe them out?
Yeah.
You know, how do we become, innovative? How do we go all out and say we are going to face these? You know, so personally, that's my take.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll tell the head of the state, Mr. President, that, you know what, once we set this one, and I tell you, the country will be busy every day. Yeah.
But then where does it collect from? Because we know it must collect from somewhere. Where does it collect from?
Like I said, from the alcohol levy, from the petrol levy, from the transport levy.
Yeah.
Because transport is linked to road accidents and so forth, as much as the petrol
I think
levy.
the cigarettes.
The cigarettes levy, it's there.
So meaning the money is already coming in.
Yeah.
It's just to channel it towards the things that affect this thing.
You know, kana the levy, these levies, how do they the way they've been even administered. No, my dear, like financial year end and so forth. You generate the madi but unfortunately, I've realized that my dear and then channeled to do it not related to, or they could have been used it for.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we look at, I was reading somewhere that South Africa raked in billions
Yeah.
per day,
Okay.
during festive on alcohol. Normally, apparently they say that alcohol in South Africa generates 400 million a day.
Yeah.
But during festive,
Yeah.
almost $1 billion plus per day on alcohol leave. And I'm thinking, okay, that's not on alcohol, on just alcohol sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, but those sales include us.
Yeah.
So clearly, we are also part of the sales that are happening from that side.
Yeah.
But when you look at the extension that was given, the 10-day extension, yeah, the hour.
Yeah.
I want to see that report. I want
Yeah.
to see how much. I don't care how many people didn't rob houses. I don't care how many people didn't rape each other. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
I'm interested in knowing
Yeah.
how much did we generate in alcohol levy from the 10 days.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that I think is lacking,
Yeah.
and which then takes away from your ability to generate funds and so on.
Yeah.
Is that public accountability of
Yeah.
these funds?
Yeah.
Where is it published? Where can we see it?
Well, unfortunately, bagolo ba rona ba bidiwang the accounting officers, unfortunately, most of them, and I didn't get I think sometimes last day the offices they are your own personal offices, because as an accounting officer, you need to be open to us. You know, you need to be clear to us as to what's this been used for, what we have in the coffers, and so forth, within your particular ministry. But unfortunately, they are not, I work with the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, every year, during the financial report, MVA Fund, on a yearly basis, a minimum of about 400 million has been spent. The infrastructure, hospitalization, the victims, and so forth. But then the fund, in Zimbabwe from the levy, but from the fuel levy, but me petrol
Yeah, and that's about 95 per liter.
And they
9.5 or something.
And the leadership here, the MV Fund, they came up with a very great initiative. From part of the levy, Lorna, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have campaigns, road accidents, and so forth. And they were doing well. They had us and other guys who came and did campaigns on road safety and so forth, and they worked. But the time the fund was cut.
Fund was cut how? I mean, it's money that they generate. You see it coming.
Unfortunately, the
money was redirected somewhere else, part of it.
Yeah, and these things we tell are politically motivated. Our politicians, they kill this country.
But that's where I think the lack of accountability becomes a problem, because we don't know how much money we are taking.
Yeah.
Or we are paying as levies. Should that be something that's made public?
I mean, let's talk about the alcohol levy. As far back then, the time it was set up.
Yeah, that's what, around, it was 2000 or something when Ski came in. Yeah.
So 20 years now.
Yeah.
So how often did we see the fund benefiting Botswana? Be that through...
No, actually, it's the first time, and I should applaud DGB on this, right?
Yeah.
It's the first time, I've heard someone, the president say, 200 million new.
Yes.
That actually, we need to salute DGB.
Yes, no, true. Yes. Yeah.
Because the first time, I've never heard alcohol levy being, I've heard what they with the youth fund, but this is the first deliberate move.
No, it's health.
Amount 200 million.
Yeah, no, Global Health, I guess it's been administered under the Ministry of Health.
Okay.
So, through the call of proposals. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you are right. One thing that I loved about, or that I love about DGB is that I remember when he spoke about the tender. Don't come to me, tell me about the tender, because those are I've been there, and he's right.
Yeah, and he's been to court with these things.
He's been to court with these things. And what I love about him also is that, our president he's from the streets.
Yeah, he wasn't a born rich boy, and all these things. Yeah.
So he knows, because also having to be an attorney, a very successful attorney, and he has had to deal with cases.
He's seen the stresses.
He knows our stresses. We are there at his office on daily basis, crying to him about how we've been treated by certain offices and so forth, So he knows. It's only that he can't do all these things by himself at a go, but he knows. That's why he took that decision about, there's a levy.
I think that answers this question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the statement he made, yeah, and I got the answer to say, look,
Yeah.
but this man has seen the pains to some extent,
Yeah.
But now we need to get somewhere. As a
Yes.
country, I think we need to be working towards changing things.
Yeah.
I think what I like is that behavioral change fund,
Yes.
which can be contributed in so many things.
Yeah.
Plastic levy could be one of the things that
Yes.
contribute in
Yeah.
there. Because the environment is also a behavior thing. But now who can get these words out? We have people like you, Remmogo.
Yeah.
Who else can, what else do you need out there from Botswana or anyone to get these words out, to get these things running?
Hey, look, we're not your Trump state country.
I'm gonna decide
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we just need to continue signing up
Yeah.
and coming up with some of those models so that we can find a way. How do they reach the highest office? Because there's only two people who can make decisions: the president and the vice president. Yeah. I don't have. I'm sorry to say this to our ministers. I don't have that.
But even the previous government.
No,
yeah.
in the previous. Minister, in the previous government. Yeah. So the only two officers that I believe that can actually assist and listen to us. The vice president, His Honor the Vice President, and His Excellency, His Office the President, because and make instant decisions, or directives, because look, I've dealt with the previous ministers, and Mr. K, we will toil for over 12 months. Over one issue, because Mr. Kaelo, Mr. Kagiso, and that's not solving an issue,
But now, Ghana, that points out to something that scares me, right?
Yeah.
We have no faith in our political structures.
Yeah.
Now, it scares me that from your words, literally, there is no faith, or you have no faith at all in the political structure.
Yeah, personally, I don't. Look, I don't want to dispute. They are professionals. They are working. They are doing well. But unfortunately, we don't, because they are not decision makers.
So what do we then do? Because there is a way that government is built. There's a structure. You submit to the officer goes to his superior, who goes to director, PS, DPS to PS, then the minister, and so on. The structures are there. Within around times.
No, labels and so forth. So those structures are not working. So we need independent bodies. I'll tell you what, especially from the youth perspective as an advocate, we need to go back. I'll give an example. Botswana National Youth Council. I pray that His Excellency scrap that thing. We go back and rebuild the Botswana National Youth Council, because the BNYC is shut now.
I see.
It's dead.
Nice building that's dying there.
No, it's dead. It's dead. So we need to go back and put people who can actually stand for the young people's interest, stand up and support the government through.
But how does BNYC exist? How does it exist? How does it come to be? How does it come? For you to say no, there's a BNYC.
Yeah.
How do people end up there?
No, BNYC was set up as a presidential directive back then in the years. Yeah. And what had happened? It was independent.
Right.
So by it being independent, it had its own funding and proposal writing, and to get funding from your Commonwealth, from your UNDP, your United Nations, and so forth. The Chinese donated that building, and but they also had a portion from the government on annual basis from the Minister of Youth. But they were independent. They had an independent body which was elected every 3 years through an elective Congress. And it was national because there were structures, the DYC's district coordinating bodies, at district level. So it was very functional, and it was there was voice, there was
it was visible. You
it was
could hear
visible
about it.
Yes,
But what killed it though?
Mabanelana ka 2014, 2015. Yeah, when I think Rauloping when he was voted in, and Moholo, I don't know who advised him, but I think with the very same people from that ministry. So they were advised, and he took a decision with the then permanent secretary Ramali Kongo. We are killing BNYC. It's no more independent. More like a department in the ministry. That was the end of BNYC.
Wait, I want to understand the logic, right?
No, the logic was
What was it failing currently?
No, it wasn't failing. It was an issue of banana bajamadi. That's it. So how do you? I'll tell you what. The same example that we were always using here: one potato, one tomato, spoils the rest.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the whole grade it's dead or it's corrupted.
Okay.
And find a way to, if you want to control the finances of the certain entity, for purposes of accountability and so forth, but not just killing the whole thing, because now you are closing doors for everyone. Yeah.
But so all the structures at BNYC, what exactly was it doing? Because I used to confuse it with YDF, to be honest. I didn't understand the structure and so on.
Yes.
What was it doing?
Look, the BNYC had it had components affiliates.
Okay.
So these affiliates were divided into different models. Some were sports, young people in sports, young people in behavior change, young people in arts, young people in innovation, in technology, so forth.
Okay.
The religious part was there, because I remember SU. Was
Scripture
part of it.
Union,
Yeah, Scripture Union was an affiliate also. So we had so many affiliates. So the funding was allocated to all these sectors. Okay. So you would write proposals, they'll be screened. Those who were approved or successful, they'll get the funding, they'll run programs. So it was busy. That's why alcohol, innovation, technology, unemployment, just to mention but a few. Okay. So that's how it was working. So all those entities or the groups or the organizations will come back, report back. And then they'll take that report. It will build up to, I think it ended up to Kobo Cabinet, because it was also showing what the government.
I know State of the Nation sometimes would mention that.
Yes. So the BNYC was to me it's a great tool to the government, because it stands for young people. To be cleaned up, just not that much. The first thing that we need to do, and I applaud Honorable Boholo Kenowendo. She's a product of BNYC also. I can mention quite a number of them. She said for BNYC, I remember she said it, for BNYC to function well, it has to go back to its original mandate.
Where is the original template of this setup?
It's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, where was it getting funding from? Because it was an independent entity, it was just a council there. Where was it getting funding from?
I think from the government through the Ministry of Youth, another operational funding. Okay. And then for purposes of campaigns and other programs, it was both United Nations, UNDP, UNFPA, Commonwealth, quite a number of them. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, when it went to government, did this funding go away, or it's still coming, but it's going into government coffers?
No. It's still within the.
So these people are still funding?
They were independent. Independent. It was in their accounts and so forth.
Okay. So now, do you know what is happening with the funding as it comes from all these entities that are outside?
You mean right now? No, the time. Remember in 2015 it was shut.
Yeah.
So that stopped.
Everything stopped.
So independence government there.
So now
it's a department
we took away support.
Yes.
By taking this away from them.
Exactly my point. You know what? I'll tell you this. One thing that always hurt me when Mr. K is that our ministers, majority of them, not all of them, they come, they make decisions from there, we vote them out. They go.
Or they're shuffled.
And they continue with their lives.
Yeah.
Having to destroy other people's lives.
All right.
I'll talk about even the permanent secretaries. They do that. The PSS, I don't know. I don't know if most of them, or sometimes, or most of the times, they become so emotional that they scrap out great initiatives. From there, they are reshuffled, or they retire. That really hit me.
But what do you think should then be done? Because this needs to be fixed.
No, it needs to be fixed. Remember, firstly, I spoke about the behavioural change fund.
Yeah.
And the second thing now is to relook at the Botswana National Youth Council as a holistically, to revamp it, to redo it, and
send it back to the
send it back to the to be independent. I'm telling you.
All right.
Yeah, and we get the professional board members, and we get independent officers, because kana gompieno the BNYC go bereka bone ba bagolo ba government.
So what is happening to the building now? Is it a government office?
It's a government office. The government, and you know the facility.
I know there's a sports facility at the back. Yeah.
They've got the swimming pools. We've got
fantastic kitchen for that matter.
You know, And I know one young person was had at that kitchen, and what hurt me was that at that time there was another lady who was heading the BNYC. Basi molela dikgang this young person to a point where they killed this young person.
So that facility sitting there with that high-end restaurant equipment or catering equipment, sports facilities at the back?
A multi-million going down the drain, and right now it's dilapidated.
Yeah.
For a better of the legal word.
Okay. So where do we start building this? Because now we are talking about it now. I'm actually shocked. I've never affiliated or been anywhere near BNYC. I never knew what it does.
Yeah.
But now, from your explanation, it scares me that it's dead and it's sitting there.
Look, I've got best interest in young people, because personally I believe in young people. I believe in young people, that young people are the future, That's why if you go into social media right now, Mr. K, let's take TikTok. And you see what young people they are doing. And look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Yeah. If you see just a clip of our local youth doing something, and you get the views level 50,000, 100,000, numbers don't lie. Yeah,
but you see, that's another thing though that worries me, is that there's so much creativity, but there's no way to expose it.
You see, and that's why I'm saying to you right now that as much as we are saying even the 200 million is coming, to create that platform. But the executors, the people who are going to be administrating this, are they ready? Do we have them? And looking at the fact
that who's going to administer this fund though?
And looking at that now, the Ministry of Youth was
split into which
so
I believe
which
helps.
Is okay. No, it does. It was too heavy. It was too heavy for one person. Now we've got the gender and the youth the side, and we've got the arts and sport the side. And remember, the youth also have to benefit from the fund.
But when you look at this thing also though, majority of youth are the majority of participants in the sports space. Arts, I think all of us are in there. But sports is mostly youth in there.
No, but even arts, huh?
Even arts,
even arts.
So
even youth. So now
and young women.
And young women, and that's where now that behavioral change fund that I'm trying to advocate for also will come in and say, okay, maybe for youth, let them not benefit from the creative fund, so that it can be enough for those
for the sector
itself.
Or at least for this round, for this 200 million.
Yeah.
The next 200 million can go to
gender, GBV, and the youth. They'll benefit from the behavioral change fund.
Okay.
Now the BNYC, we now coming back to it and taking it back and lifting it up. It will also help in administrating and collecting and coordinating the whole funding and the proposal and the campaigns and so forth, like it was you doing in the back in the days,
Hey, all right. So now let's go into this one, because behavior seems to be the cornerstone of the problems that we have. Right. We have a country where just walking out of the studio, 100 meters, you're going to see ngwana hela wa ngwana ke ngwana le o siameng
Yeah.
a le montsontsho
Yeah.
a le o latlhegile a sa ikama
Yeah.
go sa reng o bona le gato jele se gato ke cat.
Yeah.
Where is this thing coming from? Are we manufacturing it locally? Is it imported?
Rumor says it's imported, and rumor says it comes through the border gates. Be the
Never, not our borders. Our borders are those borders are strong.
No, I'm saying rumor.
Yeah, no, I think that rumor must have got it wrong. There must be holes and fences.
Yeah. Well,
Because
yes.
because I look at our borders.
Yeah.
Two borders at least for now.
Yeah.
Tokweng.
Yeah.
And Lobatsi.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Yeah. No, but remember, you're only talking about two borders. You're
Oh,
only
yeah.
talking about two borders. But we've got the
Martin's Drift.
No. We've got the Ramutswan, so much accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, rona ka borlong ka haele ga terata e tlolo hela le metsi a elela.
Yeah, no, true.
Yeah.
So obviously they come through those entries and from various people.
Yeah.
The import cars, like you are saying, and so forth. And it's business to many because idler because
Yeah.
and then we meet Mr. Sorenso, who's a supplier, so we become the agents.
Yeah.
But because we've got nothing to do and nothing keeping us busy, the country, young people right now, Mr. K, are hopeless. Young people are
But they're killing each other.
Young
So-
people are yes, but because, like I'm saying, because no one is coming to them, not to their aid. And aid is not only spoon feeding. Spoon feeding.
Yeah.
Aid is sitting down, listening to you, and try to come up with certain common ground. It can be conducive. It can be beneficial to one's need in a way. Wabona. And then the question remains: who's going to do that?
With what money? Because either way,
Yeah.
yo. But we know where these drugs are being consumed.
Yes, sir.
We know where they're being sold.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
Our law enforcement is really in a high thing. They've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
These guys are busy listening to one only 4 years
Yeah,
old. They're busy listening to Masado Italian Busiro.
Yeah.
They're busy listening to what Matwa to be one.
Yeah.
So they're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
At what point do we see government saying, "Bagaetso, re na le morwalo ke o."
Yeah.
Re imela ba police, re imela DEA. Re kopa gore tse dingwe tse a re ageng bana.
Yes.
At what point do we hand this now to people who can do it?
Now it all goes back to the fund.
The fund, the
Yeah.
behavioral change fund.
Yes. And to access those levies.
Yeah.
You know those levies, they are going to answer the problem. We've got organizations, we've got entities that are ready, that are qualified, that are experienced. We've got BOFA, we've got Bo.
And Bofa now, it looks neglected. I mean, in my
Exactly.
neighborhood, it's about 2 of them, and they
Yes.
look so neglected. No,
I
3
know.
actually.
Yeah.
They're so neglected.
Yeah, we've got Bobo Sasnet,
Yeah.
we've got Remmogo, we've got Men and Boys, we've got Yoho died,
Yeah.
unfortunately. You've got Students Volunteer Movement Foundation.
Yeah.
There's so many, We've got Emma Basadi, we've got is it Kagiso Insurance Center?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the rape, women's war. That
Yeah.
one is in Maung, So once we secure this funding for these certain organizations, I'm telling you, with the strict measures, they'll be able to help the government and to assist the government because they're on the ground.
Yeah.
Is trying by all means to take Botswana, to continue taking Botswana to the international world.
Yeah.
And I saw the vice president also, he's out there lobbying, for technical assistance from your World Bank and so forth. They're on the ground working.
Making sure the environment looks safe. Imagine I'm an investor and I want to come to Botswana with my kids, and I'm like, "Eish,
Kana Botswana khadi." Yeah. And in GBV and
yeah,
crime
and rape and all
rape.
this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they go out there, we need to be busy working so that when they come back, we have to report back.
The environment is fertile.
Yes.
It's at least safe on the social side, because I think one of the things that we ignore is the social part of the whole thing.
I was talking to one South African friend of mine just yesterday, and in Pretoria, and you know, she was saying, she was so I'm shocked that Remmogo Botswana ibile youth is more than bagolo, whereas South Africa is vice versa, you know. But and she was saying, but you guys are only 2 million, you know. To her it was, she couldn't understand why we are saying young people are on
It
the
looks like bad management.
You know, I'm telling you. What are you guys saying? You know, and Botswana is classified as, you know, low we're a middle income country, you know, and we are, you know, as landlocked as we are, also we are very fortunate because certainly too much hunger, poverty and so forth. You know, we are getting there. Botswana is not bad, you know, as much as the economical side of it and the certain social ills, but we are not bad. So she was so shocked. Okay. You know.
So now there's something called ESG that is neglected a lot by a lot of companies.
Yeah.
It's only used when there's a big event and the company wants to look nice.
Yeah.
Right? How can we play into this social part of this whole thing for these companies to, if we can't borrow from MVA and alcohol levy and so on, how do we now start getting these companies involved? Because whether they like it or not, they are attending funerals. Productivity drops because someone moved the room. You know, and we hit because of car accident. Because whatever. The private sector exists. And I think Leone should be feeling this pinch.
Yes.
What should be done to get them involved? We're not saying that they should give us money. Money is good. We all want to see money. But how do we get them involved?
I think thank God we have our president who's human rights lawyer. And I personally, I would plead with him to pass molawering the private sector through, I don't know if
a social corporate responsibility,
levies
or something, because they use it to hide tax anyway. To
you know,
tax.
Yes, we know.
So some of them use social responsibility to kind of evade tax or balance it all.
And once that has been set up, I'm telling you, Hormentelena is going to work on a loss of movement from the community in Zere. Can we, you know? And because the private sector now will be playing a role.
All right.
And that's another levy that you can tap it from.
We need to find a way to get that social responsibility levy and put it there. All right, I'm going to take your last one on this.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, from here, it's a lot more that can be done.
Yes, sir.
The Constitutional Court.
Yes, sir.
Your opinion in short, positive or negative, it's okay.
Okay. Personally, I support it. I support it in the view of we've got so many court cases. They were not treated right or judged right.
Okay.
Remember, I mentioned that our head of state is a human rights lawyer. So he's looking beyond. As much as re ganeletse mo dikgeng tsa gore kana gore gore molai wa go ikuela ha sna go ikuela and dota ba itshwara and so forth, you know, about and the same sex marriage and so forth. I think the world is moving to another stage of a new generation, and we also need to change. We also need to grow towards where technology is. We're talking about AI. AI is going to take a lot of jobs.
That thing violates a lot of human rights.
I'm telling you, So to me, it will help us to go back to the Constitutional Court and say, this was ruled against me. I still stand 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't think DGB is putting pressure on us to say, no, we need to listen to him. No, he's not a dictator on this one. I think it's where he's saying this has long been neglected for a long time. And remember what I said earlier on, that we're talking about someone who's been in the courts on his life, and he knows these issues, and he knows of how many people have not been treated right. So personally, I support it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Botswana is turning 60 this year.
Yes, sir.
And as the content center, we are running something called This is 60.
Wow.
We are taking messages and we are going to travel around the country.
Yes, sir.
Reaching out to Botswana. And we want to know what 60 means to Botswana.
Yes, sir.
So the campaign This is 60 is run by the Content Center.
Wow.
And other partners that we are bringing on board as well. I know there are a few universities that are going to come on board. As soon as they finish, we'll announce that.
Nice.
I want now from you, Remmogo, you've dealt with Botswana, you've been here, you've seen this. I need a message from you for This is 60.
Yeah, look, we are citizens, and not by default, but by right.
Yeah.
So the question is, how am I playing a part in making sure that we celebrate Botswana at 60 years, I mean, I'm 42 years this year, and I look back and I say, ke tsantswe skwele ke goromente wa lehatshe la Botswana, ke ditleliniki re jele kana nna re ja it was before tsa bana back
Bo Mapola, bo Malutu,
yeah,
you
back
know,
in the-
yeah.
back in the days. So it's a reflection, it's about being thankful to my nation, to my country, to my culture, to my birthright nation, to say I am who I am because of my country, my Botswana. This is a beautiful country, beautiful people. It's a peaceful nation. We are a religious nation, though from different denominations, but we are a religious nation, and we've never had the poverty, and we should thank God, So Botswana is at 60, to me, it's personal, it's special. It's about me getting up and playing a part. Like Remmogo Foundation, we've got 2 major programs that we're going to be doing. Obviously, we'll come knock at your door for partnership, and we're doing Botswana Tourism Awards, we're doing the annual Botswana Youth Awards, and it's also our part of giving back to our nation and giving back to our people, to say we are empowering, we are recognizing, we are celebrating our own, So the message that I also now want to give to young people, Mr. K, is that 2026 is here, it's a new year, get up. Don't blame anyone. Get that proposal, go knock at that door. Be innovative, be creative, and make sure that you succeed in what you do. Be that talent, be that skill, whatever. And make sure you make yourself proud, and you make the parents, the leadership of this country proud, and you put this country first in whatever that you do.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is 60. Thank you for watching.